wanna take advice from fools. I just figure everything is cool until I hear it from you.
ESPN Monday Night Football. The Bears and the Lions. Detroit is laying 6.5 with a total of 47. However, offshoreinsiders.com says shop around. Some sports books have the point spread now up to 7 points. I'm Joe Duffy, America's only Grandmaster handicapper and CEO of offshoreinsiders.com with the official betting preview. Chicago is 2-2 straight up, 1-3 against the spread, going over at a 2-2 rate. Detroit's 4-0 straight up, 3-1 in the back pocket as there's a push along the way, going over all 4 games. Chicago is averaging 23.5 points per game. The teams that normally allow 24.9. They run the ball well, getting 4.7 yards per rush. The defenses that permit 4.3, but just 6.5 passing yards per attempt to 7.5 and 5.8 yards per play. The defenses that allow an average of 6.3. They are efficient on offense with 13.1 yards per point to foes that are forcing 14.9. Again, yards per point determined by dividing the total yards by the number of the points. Offensively, a lower number is considered to be more efficient. On defense, the higher number is better, meaning you force teams to waste yards. Now, on defense, Chicago permits 24.5 points per game. The teams that are normally getting 27.5. Chicago allows 5.1 yards per carry. The teams that normally get 4.3. And 7.2 yards per pass to 7.7. Comes out in the wash. 6.4 yards per play to teams that are averaging that exact same amount. They're forcing teams to use 17.4 yards per point, which is 2.4 above their foes' normal cumulative average. Hence, that means good. Now let's go to the Detroit Lions. They are scoring an outstanding 33.7 points per game versus squads that allocate an average of just 25.4. However, the other numbers suggest they might not be as dominant as the raw numbers do seem to scream. They're getting just 3 yards per rush to teams that normally allow 3.7, although 7.4 yards per pass attempt to 7.1 and 5.7 yards per play to teams allowing that exact same 5.7. Yards per point is good on offense at 11.1 to teams that normally force 13.7. Now, the Lions allow 19 points per game. The teams that normally get 19.9 on 4.8 yards per rush to 4.4. They also allow 5.8 yards per pass to 6.7 and 5.4 yards per play to 5.7. Now, I know we're throwing a lot of numbers at you, but you want to be able to see these numbers and analyze them a little bit more closely. Remember, it's scoresoddspicks.com/news. Scoresoddspicks.com/news. Now, they forced 17.6 yards per point to 17.2. Top expert pick on this game, the Canadian Crew. Remarkable NFL and baseball card. On September the 19th, the New York Giants won as a Monday Night Football Best Bet of the Year. September 27th, Washington was easy as the Monday Night Football Best Bet of the Year, part number 2. That makes the Crew 21-7 with all NFL picks going back to NFL preseason. Keep that in mind for next August, as the Crew has already had probably the 3 best back-to-back years ever recorded in NFL preseason. But the big story, the immediate story, part 3, Monday Night Football Best Bet of the Year goes tonight, and another name play winner. Also get both baseball sides from the Canadian Crew exclusively at offshoreinsiders.com. Now, some spread betting records. All records are ATS. Chicago 5-13 after allowing more than 250 yards passing. And again, that is it, folks. It's Offshore Insiders.